big changes certainly have occurred over this middle of the week. Wow, Tuesday into early Wednesday, rounds of thunderstorms moving through, cutting through some major temperature difference. There was some tornadic activity. There was also some damaging winds, some hail, and snow. Snow on the backside. Crazy stuff. Big time cold air pushed on in Wednesday morning where you had the big warmth. You went from 60s to 20s in no time over a very short amount of distance. Hello everybody, meteorologist Brian Ivy here with you for your Norcast weather and snowplow news video. Little brief shot of cold air today into early tomorrow and then lifting right out, moderating through the weekend and getting well above average again with this big ridge of high pressure. Different story for the west. There will be a nice batch of cold air that's going to push on in at times, but it tries to move east and this ridge just deflects it north, and we're stuck with a lot of warm air that's going to occasionally back down and then rebuild until we get to around March 10th to the 12th or so. Then we'll get a lobe of kind of the polar vortex that probably does settle down and allows for a couple of days of cold weather, but that's it, because it again kind of moves back out. Ridge moves in, we moderate. That's been the continuing factor for pretty much all winter long. And when we look at winter as a whole from December through February, we can kind of close the book on the warmest winter ever recorded. So the warmest winter any of us have lived through across a decent section of the upper Midwest, and one of the top 2 or 3 warmest into the Ohio Valley, one of the top 5 to 10 warmest for sure across the Northeast. Where has it been below average? Hardly anywhere. You got to go maybe into very isolated areas of the Northwest. It's been just a very warm winter. It's not going to be super warm next week. There's going to be multiple waves of some very cold air across much of the West, but that's a different story across the East because yes, we just continue to reload on the well above average temperatures. No escaping it. Goodbye from the system that moved through yesterday. High pressure moves in, lots of sunshine today into tomorrow across much of the east. The weather is far from it, super active with major snow across portions of the high terrain of the west. We get this system to develop, bringing more clouds and then a few showers at times into your Saturday across portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And then more high pressure moving right back in behind it, but it's going to be a pretty active pattern, so we see more systems develop across the southeast with some thunderstorm activity. We continue to see rounds of heavy snow into the high terrain and some rain into the lower elevations across the west going in towards portions of the middle of next week, and more rain complexes with maybe even some storms off towards the east with those multiple waves of warmer weather moving up. Most of the snowfall that you see here is what has already fallen pretty much over the last couple days. So really not going to see hardly anything throughout the next week. That's the same story into portions of Michigan back into the Midwest. The different story is this major snowfall accumulation across the west. That is still to come, and that is feet and feet and feet of it. What a winter. Those ski resorts have to be buried. I don't know if they're making their money's worth or not, but that's going to be a ton of snow clearing Sierra Nevada into the Cascades, portions of the Rockies over the next few to several days as well. Precipitation after the several day period will start dying down out west, but it's going to really pick up. We're going to go from kind of active over the next week to very active the next half a week or so after that across much of the east. But the cold air just is not going to be sticking around, so snow chances continue to be pretty low as we really wind down on the last bits of winter.
This is your Norcast weather update.